Tan Oc Tan, President Ho Chi Minh Academy of Politics and Public Administration, Dr. Thang Van Phuc, former Vice Minister of Ministry of Home Affairs, team leader of the National PAPI Advisory Board, and distinguished board members. Dr. Nguyen Quang Zu, Director, Center for Research and Training, on behalf of the Central Committee of the Vietnam Fatherland Front. Dr. Dang Ngoc Din, Director, Center for Community Support and Development Studies, senior government, party and VFF representatives from more than 15 provinces, senior party, National Assembly, Vietnam Fatherland Front, and government officials, representatives from mass organizations, NGOs, research organizations, and media. Excellency ambassadors, development partners, distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends. I would like to start by acknowledging the Vietnam Fatherland Front and its Center for Research and Training and the Center for Community Support and Development Studies for their continued collaboration with UNDP in a very labor-intensive but rewarding exercise to find out exactly what Vietnamese citizens think about the performance of provincial authorities in governance and public administration. Vietnam Governance and Public Administration Performance Index, in short PAPI, is the largest ever policy monitoring tool of its kind in Vietnam. In 2012 alone, nearly 14,000 citizens participated in the survey, and since 2010, more than 32,000 voices have been systematically collected and analyzed to help inform policymakers. In itself, this is a major achievement for PAPI, providing us with an unparalleled wealth of data and information to inform and guide Vietnam's policy work. Globally, the task of measuring governance and public administration is inherently complex, but PAPI demonstrates that it is possible to gauge the quality of governance and public services. It does so by questioning citizens both as users and beneficiaries of public policy and services, then aggregates their views in a rigorous and statistically robust process. The launch today of PAPI 2012 report is a major milestone that once again puts Vietnam in the international spotlight as a strong example for the other countries to follow. With less than 1,000 days before the deadline to achieve the Millennium Development Goals, the United Nations has been asking citizens all across the world to contribute to what the UN Secretary General refers to as the future we want for the world after 2015. Vietnam has been one of the most active participants of this truly global discussion. In parallel to dialogue at country level, a worldwide survey is underway. As part of an online consultation process, more than 500,000 responses, and still counting, have highlighted good governance as one of the top 3 priorities around the world, along with quality education and better health care. In all countries across the world, men and women, young and old, have clearly indicated that they want an honest and responsive government. The evidence from PAPI highlights that the citizens of Vietnam share exactly the same aspiration. PAPI also reminds us that as a middle-income country, Vietnam is now starting to realize the potential and benefits of modern policy monitoring tools. Experiences from other countries that have made the transition to middle-income status confirms a shift in the relationship between governments and citizens in terms of the way they interact with each other. Wealthier, better educated citizens demand higher quality, more efficient administrative services from their government, less bureaucracy, and in particular, no corruption in public sector. In its transition towards a more prosperous democratic society and a thriving market economy, Vietnam's public administration system will need to play a key role in poverty reduction and ensuring equality, a goal that cannot be fulfilled by economic growth alone. PAPI is not just a development intervention. It is becoming a vital policy tool to monitor the performance of government institutions and the delivery of public services. Its continued development is a key element of the UN One Plan for 2012-2016, which encompasses support by a number of UN organizations. We are already seeing a consistency in scores and stability of data over time, which suggests sound sampling of citizens' view from year to year. There are three strong messages coming out of the PAPI 2012 report that will be presented in more depth this morning. The first positive message worth highlighting is that on an average, Vietnamese citizens are experiencing some improvements in the level of local governance and public services in 2012 compared to 2011. Positive changes in perceptions have been recorded in the key areas of control of corruption, transparency, public service delivery, and vertical accountability. Secondly, PAPI is already having an impact on policy making, policy implementation, and policy monitoring. It is providing national and provincial leaders with concrete evidence of the impact on citizens of their decisions in governance and administration performance. Provinces are starting to regard PAPI as a vital source of data for policy making. Notable examples of PAPI's impact include action plans developed in Quang Ngai, Kon Tum, and Dak Lak provinces. But other provinces are also turning to PAPI data to better understand their performance and to devise innovative strategies to improve implementation of public policies. And thirdly, PAPI is also becoming a catalyst for more cooperation among provinces by promoting experience sharing of good practices and lessons learned, and promoting and showcasing good examples, their documentation and dissemination across the country. In the context of this collaborative effort, I would like to highlight the cooperation with the Ho Chi Minh Academy of Politics and Public Administration. The Academy plays a crucial role in educating and training public officials and leaders of Vietnam to make them more effective in their functions and more receptive to their constituents' aspirations. We are very encouraged to see that the Academy is already using PAPI data and together with provincial leaders is analyzing ways to enhance citizens' experiences on governance and public administration. In addition, we salute the Academy for its openness to include PAPI data into various courses to train officials as well as promote analysis and learning across provinces. For the UN system in Vietnam, governance is not just about institutions. It's about empowering Vietnamese citizens to engage with public institutions and to create space for policy discussion. Good governance is founded on the principles of inclusion and participation, and PAPI focuses precisely on measuring citizens' experiences in areas they need to know more, discuss, participate, and verify. Thanks to the generous support of the Swiss Development Cooperation Agency, we are committed to continuing PAPI to track changes over time in the level of provincial performance and to promote the use of this data in strengthening responsive governance. During the course of implementation, we hope that PAPI will be institutionalized in a way that will ensure its continuous robustness, reliability, and objectivity. In conclusion, I would like to thank you all for coming today to the launch of PAPI, and we very much look forward to continuing working with the central and provincial policymakers to enhance the use of PAPI data for good governance and policy making. We sincerely hope that this information will become a catalyst for developing action plans that truly support the real aspirations of the Vietnamese citizens. Thank you very much.